Partners don't struggle because they earn too little, they struggle because money arrives unevenly, while life costs stay stubbornly fixed. Drawings fluctuate, tax arrives late and loudly, commitment assumes smoothness. So partners live in a loop. Confidence, compression, recovery, then repeat. Income alone never breaks this cycle, structure does. The partners who feel calm don't earn smoother income. They design around unevenness. They build buffers that buy time. They separate tax early so it stops living in their head. They set lifestyle boundaries that prevent temporary spikes becoming permanent commitments. Once those pieces exist, something shifts. Decisions slow down. Pressure reduces. Visibility improves. Calm isn't something you earn, it's something you design deliberately. At higher income levels, tax stops being a technical problem and becomes a behavioural one. You're no longer trying to understand tax, you're trying to live with it, alongside billings, targets, unpredictable drawings, partner politics, and decisions made under pressure. So let's talk about the rules that actually matter. Not clever tactics, not loopholes, not things that only work if you have time to be perfect. Rule 1. Your marginal rate is the only rate that shapes behaviour. Not your average rate, not what you paid last year, not what your colleague pays. It's what happens to the next pound you earn. That's where hesitation shows up. That's where resentment creeps in. A partner once said to me, "I feel like I'm working harder for less and it's starting to get under my skin." That wasn't about the total tax bill, it was about the cost of progress. And this is where the reality anchor matters. In the UK, once you layer things like the loss of the personal allowance between 100,000 and 125,140, your effective marginal rate can exceed 60% in that band. Even very rational people change their behaviour when they feel like that. Not because they're weak, because they're human. Lawyers are vulnerable. High pressure leads to a desire for reward. Long hours lead to outsourcing for convenience. Rising drawings leads to a feeling of, "I deserve it." There's nothing wrong with enjoying success, but the problem is slow, steady lifestyle expansion with no strategic guardrails. I work with a partner whose drawings doubled in 7 years. Their net worth, it rose, but nowhere near what you'd expect. Almost every 10k increase in income had become nicer holidays, slightly bigger house, slightly better car, more convenient services. Individually harmless, collectively expensive. Part 2, the fix. Here's how partners stay ahead. 1. Define your lifestyle ceiling. Above a certain point, more lifestyle doesn't add meaning. 2. Automate savings before spending. That's out of sight, out of mind. 3. Quarterly lifestyle review. Not penny pinching, awareness. 4. Tie lifestyle upgrades to net worth increases, not just pay rises. And 5. Prioritize experiences over possessions. They last longer mentally and financially. Lifestyle creep is quiet, wealth growth is quieter, only one of them compounds. Instead of asking what's the best possible return, they start asking what needs to be true for my plan to work. That shift removes enormous pressure, because wealth isn't built by maximizing everything, it's built by aligning the right things. The second mistake lawyers make is mismatching time, horizon and risk. Short-term money ends up in long-term strategies. Long-term goals sit in cash. This creates stress people often mislabel as risk intolerance. It isn't. Money behaves best when it knows its job. Short-term money needs stability. Medium-term money needs balance. Long-term money needs time. When time horizon and risk are aligned, behavior improves automatically. When they're mismatched, anxiety creeps in, even when returns are fine. Many lawyers think they're uncomfortable with volatility. What they're actually uncomfortable with is uncertainty about purpose. Once money has a job and a time frame, volatility becomes easier to tolerate. The final piece most lawyers underestimate is consistency.
Please note that the discussion points we cover in this podcast are our own views or those of the guest speakers and do not constitute as financial advice. We always recommend that you speak with a professional before considering your own situation and taking action.